Greetings. Big ups. What's good with you? Holla at your boy. Y'all know what this is. This ain't nothing but barbershop talking random-ish with your boys, King, and chair number one, Boomer Si. This is barbershop talking random-ish. Y'all know this ain't nothing but some good old-fashioned barbershop style conversation. In this here barbershop, no conversation is taboo. We ain't got but one rule and one rule only. Just say what you mean what you say. Just don't be mean when you say it. Right now, you can find us live. I know y'all. Hey, anybody that been hanging out with your boy for a minute, y'all remember this? That's how I started off doing it, with one phone. And I'm laughing because, hey, we came a long way. But sometimes you got to go back where you was to get forward. Y'all know what it is. We are still sponsored by Wayne Kane and Lee. What is Quinn's official name?
Bernie.
No.
No.
For her thing. I don't have
Quinn Visuals Impact.
Quinn's Visual Impact.
Right.
2 sponsors. Y'all can join board this sponsorship thing because we need it. The money we can get, we can do what we want to do for what this platform is created for, to help the community, to help my community. That's why this is the barbershop. The barbershop is the heart of the black community, heart of the community. What we do in the barbershop, the conversation that's had in the barbershops, are so that we can inform, so that you can make an informed decision on whatever it is you're trying to decide on. Tonight, we got Mr. Poet Extraordinaire is always in the building with us.
Yes, sir.
Mr. USPS himself. Did I say it right?
Yes, sir.
No,
yes, sir.
Well, I've been trying to play right now.
Well, I sure appreciate them levels. I sure appreciate them levels right now.
It's in the building, and we're going to talk to what he, because this Super Bowl for him right now. This is Super Bowl. And we're going to get in it. But we got a guy, I met him a few years back. Hey, y'all know we don't do that. Hey, man, who are you and why you in my barbershop?
Oh, man, Coach Cortez, originally from Chicago. I've been down here in Georgia for the past 12 years. Met these good brothers, coaching with 3D champs, youth football, some great men, and just blessed to be in the building tonight.
Hey man, we got Coach Cortez in the building, and like you said, we met him because he was one of the heads in the organization that Lee came and got me one day and said, hey, we going over here and check something out. He didn't tell me we were going to go coaching. He said we just going to check something out. Soon as I got there, we coaching. Oh, okay. But and I kind of when you first get there, you don't understand, but once you look at how things going in any group text, you start to realize Cortez wore an awful lot of hats while he was out there. Mm-hmm. He is a very important man in youth, better yet, in these Little League sports around Northeast Georgia. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, not only Northeast Georgia, but also the Metro Atlanta area as well. Because currently I'm serving as the Vice Commissioner of the GYFL, which is the Georgia Youth Football League. And we cover teams from Sharpsburg up to Cobb County, all the way over to the Gwinnett Chiefs.
Man, I had to go to Sharpsburg. That's a long ride.
Oh, yeah.
That's a long ride. When I was coaching in college, boy, we had to go to Sharp. Ain't never heard of a four a day in our life. Boy, that's a ride.
Yes, sir.
So what our programs is that league? What our programs is in that league?
Oh yeah, we got the Gwinnett Chiefs, we got the Sharpsburg Indians, Cobb County Bulldogs. We have the Concord Squad. They're out of the Stone Mountain area. We have a new upstart program called the East Atlanta Bandits. We have the Georgia Ducks Premier 11 squad, coached by Coach Casey and them boys over there. You know, we got, make sure I'm not going to forget anybody.
Pharaohs.
Nah, they were peeking in, but we had some matchups with them, but they decided to go a different direction.
Gotcha.
It's all good though. So, how many I named? I said Sharpsburg, Cobb County. I said Gwinnett Cheese. I said Georgia Ducks. Oh yeah, we got the Impact Grizzlies. Phenomenal guy, Coach Rich. Man of the cloth. He really is a good guy with them kids. And then we got. So I know I'm missing somebody, right? I got East Line Bandits Conference Squad. And but again, it's on Georgia, YFL.org. That's the website. We are open for membership for the 2025 season. And pretty much a guy named Bishop Darrell McCrory, he had the vision to start the league up, and he wanted to do something different. He wanted to bring a more biblical approach to it. So it's a Christ-centered youth football league.
Okay.
That's the heart of it. That's the heart of the mission. And then he asked me to come on board and bring some of my programs to it from a student-athlete succeed and a student-athlete excel perspective, which y'all are familiar with from our days at 3D Champs as well.
Okay. Because one thing that I was and still was impressed with the whole 3D thing was the reading programs, the robotic programs, the author programs, the different things that y'all were doing with the kids, and that made me even that much more prouder. I don't know if I'm sure I ain't saying none of that right, so don't be grammifying me. Was that right? Did I say it? Because you the one who had the 1100 on the SAT, so was I a little bit correct on that?
You were good.
Okay,
You were good.
Passable.
And it impressed me because not only were we out there on the field with the young men and ladies, we was in the classroom with them too.
Right.
And that impressed me immensely. Well, y'all see me breaking out my words tonight. Well, I'm breaking out my words tonight.
Somebody been in there for sorrow.
I get that word of the day on my little thumb on. Sometimes I look at them. Every now and then I look at them. Yes, sir. But
Rick,
yes, sir.
You left out one very important thing that Cortez did for the community. Cortez drove a bus around.
Yes,
picking up 20,
yes, he did.
25 kids
Yes, he did.
easily
Yes, he
to
did.
bring them to practice and also pick them up for games.
Yes, sir. And I'm sure if he had to do anything like a lot of what we did, he had to buy some food, he had to buy some Gatorade, buy plenty of water, Takis. I thought we said no Takis.
Hey, look,
We said a rule.
They was doing it anyway.
We had a rule. Cortez with no Takis. It was no Takis. Oh, man.
You get that dedication in the class.
The Takis. The Takis. Boy, Lord have mercy. But yeah, man, but one of the questions I want to ask you while you here, I mean, let's get into some of these
Hold on, Rick, 1 second. I got a question for Cortez before we move on.
Go ahead.
Cortez, are you implementing any of the programs that you developed at 3D into this new GYFL venture?
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. So when we first started up with 3D Champs, it was Coach Nate, his wife, Mama Q, Coach Tony, and myself. Coach Dante ended up coming back into the fold, and then we all came put our heads together. So the thing that I loved about Dante to this day is the fact that he was always adamant about, if I can only give y'all football, then I'm failing y'all. So he wanted to make sure that we always stay consistent with the program and being off the field. So he already had the reading program going with the Dante Robinson Foundation, and he incorporated that with the base that we had from a kid standpoint with 3D Champs and our recruitment, because me, Coach Nate, Coach Tony, we came from the AY Alliance, and then me and Coach Nate before that came from the AYA Trojans. So we were out here in the community already with Coach Mike, good guy, man, to this day. That's my brother, that's my fam. But from a program standpoint, Coach Nate came up with the concept, and for those who are not aware, the 3D stands for Discipline Determines Decisions, and chance being challenging, honest, achieving men pursuing success.
Hey, slow that down and say it one more time, because I promise you I ain't never get it right. I ain't never get it right. The 2 years I was there, I ain't get it right. Say it one more time.
Yeah, no doubt. And it came from the soul, like Coach Nate and his wife, Mama Q, they sat down, they prayed, and this true soul power behind the meaning of it. And that's why it's always been an adamant standpoint to be about that brand being out there. So the 3Ds, discipline, determines, decisions. And you break it down, and it's like, if you follow any of the successful people that talk about success, Brian Tracy, Jack Canfield, they all harp on what discipline being the core foundation for a lot of the success that we see out here from these examples of people worldwide. And so Coach Nate, again, people don't give Coach Nate the credit that he deserves because they just see a character, but they don't understand that this man really, lived and breathed every ounce of 3D champs, from his heart all the way to his breath in his body. And then the champs being challenged and honest achieving men pursuing success. And then, Mama Q always say men and women, because we did have a cheer program as well, and it's an extension of that.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, that was one of the things that impressed me and made me really buy into it, because I had said that I was going to never coach Lil League ball again because the state of Lil League Sports,
Right.
and a lot of the drama behind Lil League Sports now. But when I came out there, I seen some men that was trying to not only shape little boys on the field, but also trying to make them trying to bring them from boys to men, literally. And so I was like, man, I had to be a part of it, and it saved my life.
Yeah.
Being out there on the field with them boys, because I said a million times, I helped them, but they don't know. Y'all don't know what y'all did for me being out there, and it made me want to become a better version of myself, so I could be an example for these young boys, not only as a football coach, but as a man.
Right.
So I salute to you and all that you have done, is doing, and will continue to do. And if there's anything Talking Random Mitch can do to help put out your message, to help do anything, please holler at your boy.
Yeah.
We here every Thursday, 8 o'clock. Just come on in if you got something you need. Hey, oh man, just come on in. Yeah, hey,
Shape up.
yes sir, we'll get it. We will get it.
Hey, before you move on, I will say I coached in Atlanta,
Me too.
and well, I'm
But you coached on the
well, not that. I'm just setting up. But we got the 3D, it was so different.
yes.
Like I never was exposed to anything. Like I was supposed to we coaching, we winning, or we losing, or we not coaching.
Yeah.
I never seen an organization that put forth programs throughout the year.
Yeah.
So it's a year-round
Yes.
deal. You know what I'm saying? It's not like just the 6 months of football.
Absolutely.
Because these programs start on different,
Absolutely.
in the spring,
Yeah.
and move forward. And I can tell you that there's no other program doing that.
No.
Period.
I've never. That's what I'm saying. That's what made me want to be a part of it, because I've never. Like I say, I done coached. I coached in Cobb, then I coached out in Douglasville, and we either did some football, and once the little training started for the 2 weeks prior or whatever that was to the end, that was it. 3D they had and still.
They still
have. They start in the spring with something. Then once we get into football, then after the season, there's something that's still going on. And even while the season is going on, we also had when the time when robotics and things was going on. So hats off to you and what you're doing and trying to shape them. My question is, okay, go there yet? Okay, go ahead.
Hey, you next. Well, one thing I want to just go ahead and address with 3D Champs is renamed Georgia Force. So
Georgia Force, yes.
Right. So they're still continuing the same 3D Champ programs, but they just renamed themselves Georgia Force. That's just for the audience members who may not know.
Yes.
That 3D Champs is kind of still around, but it's renamed to Georgia Force.
Georgia Force, yes, it is. Let's jump into some of the negatives. Let's do that, because it's not that I'm trying to beat the negatives, but I need, I guess, people to understand why I said I was never going to coach again.
All right.
And then I just want to hit that quickly, and then I want to talk about Athens, Lil League, and youth for a half, and then we gonna get into some joyous stuff after that. But there has been last year or 2 years ago, Talib, not Talib, boy, whatever. Former cornerback for the Denver Broncos. His brother was involved in a shooting, a killing actually, at a Little League game. Any moment in Atlanta, you can see some breaking news, some parents finna fight somebody. I guarantee you can go online and find any of these stories. Why? What has happened to youth sports till it is almost, I know what my answer.
It's not enjoyable anymore.
I don't know what my answer is, but I want to hear it from a man that's been on that side, the official side of the game. What has happened? Because it's no longer about, my goal was, when I first started coaching, my goal was to have a young man be able to go to high school ball and he be, okay, this kid is coached. All we need to do now is plug him into our program. He know how to block, he know how to tackle, he know how to get in his stance, he know what a cover 3, a cover 2, he know the basics, he know his gaps. That was my goal initially as a coach, to get these kids, and of course we want to win, but at the end of the day, I wanted to make sure once a kid left me and they say, Coach King, okay, he good, we know he know the basics, the fundamentals, we know he good there. What happened? When did it go from that to what it is now?
So before I respond, let me give you a quick context. So,
Okay.
I first got into coaching youth football in Nashville, Tennessee with my guy, Coach Tony, my former barber out of Nashville with the Middle Tennessee Bulldogs. We had an incident that transpired with one of our coaches. He got into an actual fight with the referee in the preseason, and the whole team got disbanded. And we had to go and join up under another program called the NCS Cobras. Okay, did that for a year. It was, not a good situation as far as that merger. And then I ended up moving down to Athens. I got involved here in Athens. I looked around at the time at all the programs. We got the East Athens Dolphins, was one of my considerations. Considered the Highland Park Ravens. And then I was watching opening day, and one guy stood out to me, like I referenced from earlier, Coach Mike. Coach Mike, when he was dealing with them kids, you can see the passion, the love, the sincerity. And I said, okay, boom, that's the guy that I want to be attached to, want to be affiliated with. And he was up under the leadership of a guy named Jeffrey Mack, a stand-up guy as well. And so, everybody at Trojans, we had things going. So I came in as a coach, assistant coach. Did that for 3 years. Then Coach Nate and myself, we broke off the nets due to unfortunate circumstances. Ended up going to rebuild the A-Rod Alliance and took them to 3 championship games in a row on the 12-year level, winning one of those championships. Then, from there, that was my first foray into actually being an admin for a program. So, reconstructing it, getting it registered, fundraising, the whole 9 yards. From there, like I said, we being branched off, hooked up with Dante. We all had a meeting of the minds, and collectively we agreed to name the new program 3D Champs, because Northeast Georgia at the time, they had an issue with teams going outside of the area to compete, and we wanted to get all the smoke. We wanted to get all the exposure. We wanted these kids to be tested and challenged like none other, right? Mm-hmm. So we had to go out there and do something different, and may rest in peace, really good guy, Dr. Parks, with the Maple League, Metro Atlanta Football League. He accepted us into that membership for our 14U team back in 2018. So we've been doing this thing for a minute, right? So 3D Champs is where I got my admin experience as far as director, traveling an hour and a half up to College Park for league meetings. It didn't matter, that commitment was there. All right, boom. So then You know, a couple years ago, I ended up going into the league side of things. Tried my head on that side. Was the director of operations for the Atlanta Youth Football League, the EY under Antoine Harris. And then, like I said, Bishop Burrell, he asked me last year to come join him with this new Christ-centered league and try to do things a different way. So I'm the vice commissioner of football operations with the GYFL presently. Now, going back to the actual root of the question, and what we have done, what we have implemented this year at the GYFL is something called leadership meetings. This takes place on every Monday night. We have the directors of each association on the call, the head coaches, the assistant head coaches, as well as the team managers. The whole thing with youth football is it's a lack of leadership. And what ends up happening with the lack of leadership is you then have people running things and having influence over stuff that shouldn't be nowhere near the game whatsoever. And now we're going to talk about the parents. All right. So the parents always get beat up on, and this ain't for the good parents. We all know who those are.
Yes,
those ones that's working and then coming to bring their kids, and they supporting the program, they paying the fees on time, they getting their hands dirty with the fundraising events, the whole 9 yards. We're not talking about those good people. We're talking about the people that's causing this smear on this beautiful game that we have that saved a lot of our lives, right? And so when it comes down to it, we got situations like with the Aqib Talib situation with his brother, because we got people that are being selfish. And I said this on the call, leadership call that we had about 2 weeks ago. It's like, y'all are supposed to be teaching these kids discipline, self-control, respect, kindness, but y'all not even embodying those principles. And I'm talking about the directors, I'm talking about the coaches, and I'm talking about the parents. Anything that go wrong, it's automatically, oh, I'm gonna go out here and show my behind because I'm so-called protecting my baby. And I told them straight up, you're not protecting your child when you're going out there showing your behind like that. You're putting your child in more jeopardy and more danger than anything. So we had a parent come out the stands. He calls himself, hey, I don't like the way that this other man is talking about my son, so I'm gonna go down here and address it. Okay, yeah, you hear people, I'm gonna die about my respect. Come on, dog. So you really want to go down here, cause an issue with this man, which potentially could lead to a brawl that then has your son getting trampled, possibly being severely injured or even dying. See, people not thinking about the effect of some of their actions because there's too much selfishness going into this whole equation. We got a lot of these coaches, so-called men, betting on these youth football games.
There it is. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, because when the first time I saw this, I'm talking about, you hear about it, but the first time I saw it, 7 years old, coaches and parents betting on a 7-year-old game. I'm like, whoa. Now I really and truly understand what's going on, because once you start doing that, now the talking starts. And everybody can't handle the talking. Everybody can't handle you putting and the way they put down these kids and talk about these kids, and you betting hundreds and hundreds of dollars on a 7-year-old. Well, I mean, yeah, on 7, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old kids. Now I was, that's what's going on. When did this start, though? That's what I'm trying to figure out. When, and I want to know, correct me if I'm wrong, when these whole rankings and system things started, is because I know you was more into that type of a program, because the programs I was at Cobb County, we wasn't. You was more on a national program, doing national things. Is that, or was it always? Was it before then? Because when the ranking, when they started ranking these kids and the whole national thing, Speak on it.
I think it's probably two different things. Like I think people have always betted on youth football.
Okay.
Like I said,
Okay.
it just wasn't the amounts of money they're betting now.
Okay.
And the reason they're able to do that now is they're building their own teams. Like before, when I was at Central Cal, we had a program where you had to interview for a coaching job, assistant coaching job, all the way down from 14 down to 7. Now you got in Atlanta, you got where all you got to do is just say have some money and you can start your own team. You got these splinter teams, so you have teams that may only have 2 teams. With programs may only have 2 teams to 3 teams to 4 teams. That's not a program. And they're doing that specifically to recruit kids, and they gamble on them. Number one. That was both of them. That's why I'm just saying they were gone before.
Yeah.
And it's this. And these programs, you don't have to have no leadership skills. You can just say, hey, look, I'm starting Mountain Dew Hot Boys.
Mountain Dew ain't getting no money, so we start Mountain Dew.
Okay, well, green bottle Hot Boys.
Yes, yeah.
As long as you can pay the league registration fee or whatever, cover the insurance, you got a team. And a lot of teams are not even playing in leagues up there. They just have to get games on Sundays or whenever they can get a game. So and then it hurts the kids. So sometimes these kids may go 2 to 3 weeks without even playing a game of football. Youth.
But are these the national teams, or are these? Because I know there's a.
We know it doesn't really matter. These are kids.
I absolutely get it.
They sign up to play football.
Absolutely.
So again, that's a whole other problem. But these kids sign up to play football. The coaches, bad leadership are making these decisions.
Yes.
About who they play, when they play, and how they play. You think little Johnny care? Little Johnny just want to play football.
But to answer your question, it's national teams, it's rec teams, park teams, local teams.
I got a truck outside with my name on it, Sanford and Son. I'm Sanford and this is Son.
About the majority, right? And going back to Coach Lee's reference point, like the leadership. And then they say, oh, EYFL, y'all so small. Yeah, we so small because we started off with 72 teams that expressed interest in the league. We ended up with 20 teams. Ask me why. Because we have a certain standard that we hold these teams to. And again, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just going to talk straight facts.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You got other leagues that's going to be willing to accept teams not having insurance, not having the proper paperwork, not having these kids properly.
I got a truck outside with my name on it, Sanford and Son. I'm Sanford and this is Son. Big.
At the end of the day, they getting some out of the pot. So
say it again.
We're talking about the leagues making money off of these kids. We're talking about the associations, the teams making money off of these kids. And again, some of these folks, they out here doing it for the right reasons. They really sacrificing, they spending their lives $1 to help these kids get exposure to something special that can help give them a different light in such a dark day.
Right.
But we're talking about the issues, we're talking about the negatives, and we ain't gonna run from it. The fact of the matter is, there are people out here that's doing it for the wrong reasons.
Yes.
And then we're talking about, and see, this ain't something that is a mystery. They broadcasting it on social media, on Instagram, on Facebook. You can easily see the coaches throwing money on the ground before the game even kicked off. This is a true story.
Yes. Yeah.
I saw that.
Oh yeah. I've seen it.
Yeah.
I saw a kid score a touchdown and one of the coaches ran to the end zone and just threw a wad of ones up in there. This year.
Showboating, you know what I'm saying? And you know, people call it, you know what I'm saying, they trying to get the attention, you know what I'm saying? And then let's talk about this. A lot of these cats ain't played not one down of football in their life, but they want to be in front of that camera like they the man. And again, I'm not saying that just because you ain't play football that you can't be a youth football coach. That's not what I'm saying. But when you come in here and do it for the wrong reasons, and you ain't never played no football, you ain't never been to the grind and sacrifice and understand that hard work really pays off like Coach Lee says, then yeah, we're gonna chin check you. And people get mad about that. And then that's why they say, oh, I don't want to work with Coach Cortez because I don't like the way that he do business. Look underneath what that really means. What that means is Coach Cortez gonna say, hey, look, you're not leading your program the right way. Because I'm gonna tell you, when I was working with 3D Champs with them men and them women, and they all hands on deck is what Coach Nate said. We took that program from 50 kids in 2018 to 175 kids in 2023. And that's a true story. That's called growth. That's called development. You got to be doing something right in order for that kind of sustained growth to happen. And we talking business concepts. And that's what people don't understand about this. This is a business. We are in the youth development business. But what happens is people get into the, oh, I want to shine and be special business because I ain't never had nothing special about me a day in my life. Let's talk about these super egos that they trying to stroke because they ain't got nothing else to live for.
Say it. Hey, Cortez. Coach Cortez. So a lot of these coaches that you're talking about, it seem to me like they got the dice game mentality.
Oh yeah.
You know,
I don't know.
Right. So
explain that to somebody who might not understand what
in the neighborhood, I just saw it when I drove through the Iron Triangle tonight. In the cover of darkness, they were throwing dice. And dollar bills are flying around all over the place. So what I'm saying is like when I coached, we used to have to always do USA football and all the whole clinics and all that stuff.
Yes.
We coach. We don't have to do that anymore. Not the coach. So that the guy said he's sitting out here slinging dice on the block.
Slinging kids.
Getting a team full of kids and sling some kids.
Yeah.
Every Saturday for 1,000.
So let me ask you a question then, Lee and Coach Cortez, because this seems to be very central to the development in our communities, and that's why I'm speaking to this, because you all are nurturers of our community when you use the programs the way that you are using them. And what I'm hearing now is that, in a sense, that you all are disheartened by some of the actions that others who have come into it, believing that they want it to be a part of it, but they come into it and not follow the actual steps or the pattern of the program. So you're feeling that they're compromising the integrity of the entire program. So this is why we're speaking to it in this fashion. So what I want to ask is this, Lee, you pointed to something about the development of young people, but you used a very term that we understand, the dice game strategy. So what are you saying is that the coaches are no longer being trained to develop these young persons as the way our young people, the way this program was started in the first place, and how you learned to do it, and Cortez, myself, Coach, how you learned to do it, Coach King, how you learned to do it, that you all went through some training, some guidelines. There's some standards that you have.
Of course. And
you're saying now, Lee, in a sense, that these standards are being absconded or lowered in a sense? Or
Well, I don't think they're being lowered. I think the standards are the standards. I just think they're not being
followed the same way?
Right.
Okay.
So, and I think, and then to Cortez's point, you have people in leadership that are overlooking these things that never were overlooked before, back when I first started coaching. So,
okay.
And let me add to that. You got people in leadership that are scared to say something to these so-called gentlemen from the block.
Dope boys.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
let's say it. Let's say it. Now, let's say what it is.
So, you know what I'm saying? The cool guys, the cool cats, the dope boys, the ones with their money, the ones with all the trappings of success. And they scared that, oh, they're going to bring their crew up to the park and make some shake. Come on, man. Like, if you're going to do this thing, you got to have some courage. And that's why, you know what I'm saying, I always love rocking with guys like Coach Nate, Coach Dante, Coach Tony. Because at any given moment, I know that these gentlemen are willing and ready to defend them kids with their very own lives. So if you ain't got the heart, then you shouldn't even be in this thing. And so what ends up happening is, and again, this is just a true testament of what I see and what I've seen over the years. You got a coach who's flamboyant, the cool cat, and you got a program director who started the program for the right reasons. And he feel like, oh, I'm gonna lose all these kids if I say something to this man, even though I know he's doing wrong. If I tell him he's doing wrong, he gonna get mad at me and leave and take his kids to another program.
But ain't that's what's happening? Isn't that what happened?
it is what happened.
So playing devil's advocate, what am I supposed to do? Because if I say something, he gonna take the kids. and start another program. And now I'm starting over again from scratch.
Stand on business. Let them go.
You stand on business. You hold, like Coach said, he had 72 that wanted in. He accepted those that met his standard. You accept those that hold to your standard,
Mm-hmm.
and then you don't have to worry about them leaving
Right.
for foolishness. And if they do,
Right.
because you, like you said, you never know. Then if they do, you let them go, because there's always going to be others. But you can't sacrifice the whole for the part. So,
Absolutely. Uh-huh.
and that's what they're doing. They're willing to sacrifice the whole body for the hand, and it's just a part. So if Dope Boy A leave, Dope Boy A can leave. Eventually, you will get Coach A
Okay,
to replace Dope Boy.
let's go with eventually. Now, we're gonna look at Coach Dope Boy A.
Mm-hmm.
When he take this team, these players, and they win a few games.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they got, and the one or two kids you might over here in the program that we left, they ain't winning games
Gotcha.
because all the players is over here.
With Dope Boy A.
So, Dope Boy A is flourishing. The guy that's doing it the right way, it's not working because we every time, even if we go to try to play these guys to help our program.
So what are you measuring success then? What are you measuring success then? Is success bringing the boys to where you want? Where, like you said, I got them from Coach Rick, and now they know how to do A, B, C, and D. Or success, they winning the game.
All right.
Now, for me,
I know we want both.
For me, success is still molding and shaping and teaching this kid how to play. But mama and daddy sitting out here cussing me out. When I'm getting cussed out,
I got you.
when the parents do show up
I got
to
you.
see little Johnny, and all of a sudden they want to bring grandmama and such, but he ain't ready to play, and I'm not putting him on the field, but I'm getting called everything but a man and a child of God.
But if we in the right program, then we have other things other than the football going on, like we discussed. We still bringing them from that boys to men. Football is just a part of the program. So we still have to measure what part of the success are we looking at. Because I can excuse Dope Boy A and take his talent elsewhere. Because I'm playing the long game. Dope Boy A playing the short game. Because at some point, that trap money gonna run. That trap money gonna dry out. Be it 3 years down the line, be it 5 years down the line, that 10 to 15 coming.
But in
understand.
in them 3 to 5, he done won. I'm just painting. He done won.
Okay.
He done been to Nationals 3 times.
He done been to
Done
Nationals
won
3
2 of them.
And then when 2 of his kids, when they got there, they been kicked off the high school team because he ain't taught them discipline. The other 3 locked up because they've been watching Dope Boy A slang on the backside. So when all of that come back down and get to the parents, it's gonna work out in the wash.
Let's talk about something though. Hey, let me add this context here, man.
Okay.
Because both of y'all have some great points. But we got to talk about what kind of parents we've been in.
Oh boy, but we coming to parents because boy. Yes, let's talk about it.
So this is a large. When we talk about the black community, and of course, we don't shut our doors to nobody. Dream Champ's always been an open program. We've had a big Hispanic following the program over years. We had, many of our young white kids come out there and have the courage to compete with all these young black kids, knowing that they're at a disadvantage. Let's call it what it is, right? But now, when we talk about our black community, man, like as a whole, all the issues that we see on a larger scale is simply under the microscope from the youth football standpoint, because now you got it all concentrated into one little bubble. So we talking about parents that got their priorities in the wrong place. And again, these are the same people that swear now they ain't got the bread to pay their fees, but you're gonna see them out and about going to buy the latest this, the latest that, going to Miami here and there, and going to the club here and there as well because they gotta look good for whatever new guy they bring in their rotation. And that's just the truth of the matter.
Yeah.
Watch out.
Boy, you stepping on toes.
Well, that's all right.
Don't-
Told need to be stepped on.
But you are correct.
We got, and let's talk about leadership. And again, I always say that it's our fault as black men because we have allowed our community to get in the shape that it's in. And I'm talking about all the good black men. And you know, again, because women should follow men, the natural order of things. Let's talk about the truth of it, right? But we got a lot of women that got more courage than some of these so-called men out here. So we kind of hustle them backwards in a sense. And so, yeah, the women are out of control, uncivilized. They don't have proper guidance, but it's because the black men are not present. And now what we got to do a better job of is the ones that are doing it the right way, we got to stay together. Because again, we see it all the time. All right, you got something good going on, but you can't stay together because, again, that super ego kick in. So now, let's drill down into it. We all see it. We got predominantly men coaching, predominantly women as the parents, bringing their kids, showing up. All right? It's a natural order of things. People you can be at this job or that job. When you're in a certain circumference, this attraction is natural. All right, so I'm not talking about that aspect of things.
Yes.
I'm still talking about more so the professional aspect of things. And again, it all starts from the top down. When you got the wrong kind of leadership, the shaky leadership, then you're going to have the wrong kind of coaches. And then you're going to have these parents that's misled and misguided. Because again, when you stand on your square and you tell these parents what it is, then they're going to have to make a decision. Do they really want what's best for their kid? Or do they just want to talk about and pretend and look like they want what's best for their kid? You got to challenge them that way. And that's what 3D Champs did a great job of. And in large part, we didn't have a lot of the issues that a lot of programs deal with in terms of parents running the program. Because parents should never run your program at all. It's open season for catastrophe to happen. I'm telling you. You should never have a head coach who has no experience with leading anything in life.
Correct.
And again, that starts from what? The top down. The directors, when they end up, see, it ain't like when I implemented the coach's application. What we got a coach's application for? What you mean? What you guys gonna have? It ain't like when I started to say, well, background checks are required. Right. And again, let's talk about that. All right, from a league standpoint, we do background checks, but there are some good men that have made mistakes in their past.
Absolutely.
They have drug charges, they have gun charges on their record, right? But guess what they've been doing these past 5 years? They've been going to work every day, and they've been in their child's life every day. So we're not going to tell that man who had a conviction, he sold drugs back 10 years ago, that he can't come be around these kids. We're not doing it that way. Right. We never did it that way, and we ain't going to never do it that way. Right. But you're touching little boys, little girls, you're raping women, it's a no-no, dog. You can't be over here with this. This ain't the right circle for you. Plain and simple.
So what you're saying, Cortez, is that you're asking and demanding that integrity be front and center when it comes to the young people that live in our communities as role models, or those who are mentors of them, coaches, or those who are instructors. You're saying that we must now have it together in such a way that we don't compromise their integrity by showing them something that we shouldn't show them. And you're saying, you're calling us to say, listen, we want the community to be better, but first, the people who are over these kids, we have to get it together and be better, if that's what I'm hearing you say, in a sense.
Spot on.
Rick, it's something you say in the shop sometimes all the time when I think about when you decide what style you're going to get your haircut in. You can't always know who can fade the best way versus somebody who you haven't. I think that's what I'm hearing Cortez say. The title of parent isn't something that you just have because you have a child. I think he said that it's some things that you must put in to earn that part of the title of parent instead of just saying, well, I had you, so I'm automatically a good parent.
Right. And let's talk about these mamas, all right? And I talk to a lot of women all the time, single women-led households, and they tend to misunderstand loving their child with crippling their child.
Okay.
All right, let's just give an illustration. All right, you got a 16-year-old young man living at home with mama. Okay, cool. Why is mama still washing his clothes? I started cooking my own food at 8 years old. I started washing my own clothes at 10 years old. That's why when I was 18, I was able to go off to college and didn't look back. Yeah, I was homeless. Yeah, I was sleeping in my car. Yeah, I went through it. I got evicted. Yeah, I went through the struggles. Yeah, all the stories are true about Coach Cortez. Yeah, he was broke, this, that, and the third. Why? Because I made a decision to give my life to these kids, to this community. I made a decision to have a personal sacrifice. I could have been a millionaire 10 times over. Money ain't never been that much of an importance to me. I decided recently to pivot because even with that commitment, we still end up having, within the past year, 3 of our kids on murder charges. The past 3 years, 5 of the kids collectively on murder charges, getting caught up with these gang and RICO activities. Again, I don't know all the details about what happened with each situation, so I'm not going to speak about the names about it, but everybody in the community know what I'm talking about. And I take a personal accountability and responsibility for some of that as well, because some of those deaths that occurred come back to, oh man, I could have done more to be consistent.
Okay, come
in
on,
that
Cortez.
man's life.
Come on.
To keep him off the streets. I could have done more to talk to his mama. To going back to your point earlier, right? The relationship with the parent is critical. All right. We service these kids, yes, but we have to understand that we also have to lead these parents. We have, Coach Nate came up with deprogram and reprogram. All right. We focus so much on doing it with the kids, but we didn't do it with the parents.
But how do you deprogram and reprogram a parent that when you go pick the child up, the child is always there by itself. When you take the child back home, the child is always going home by itself. When you go take the child to the game, you taking the child to the game. When you don't see the parent, or if you see the parent is maybe at homecoming, how do you get into the I can't do but so much, and when the kid tell me, hey coach, when I go home I ain't got nothing to eat, how can I expect, because I can't be his dad, but at the same time I know I can't send him home hungry, but once I feed him this night, what gonna happen when we practice on Tuesday and Thursday, what gonna happen on Wednesday and Friday, and pray we can find him Saturday when we need him for the game. What can I as a coach do? Now we can have a sleepover on Friday nights. We ain't doing that no more. We ain't doing that no more, Coach Lee. Now we can't have sleepovers on Friday nights and things like that, so we can make sure we got the kids and feeding them tonight, and we can do little things like that. So once again, what happened on Sunday, Monday, when the kid is left to his circumstance? What happens then?
I'm glad you brought that up, because I've been thinking a great deal about this. In particular, when the situation happened in Hallmark.
Oh my Lord, yes sir.
Lost his life.
Yes sir.
I was crying for a couple of days because of one of the kids involved was one of our 3D champs kids who have entered the program. He was with the program, then went away from the program, then came back to the program. And even a couple months before that happened, so I reached out to him trying to get him to play some more football with an alternative school I had up in Atlanta. They accepted the kid up to the age of 19, like, coach, I don't got the love no more. And so going back to your point, Coach Rick, it's more so us understanding that we don't have all the answers. We don't have all the solutions, but we have to do a better job of networking and building with those who can help and assist in areas that we can't cover and reach. Because we have a lot of, let's talk about athletes, all right, in here 12 years. We have a lot of duplication in Athens. We have a lot of the same programs trying to reach the same kids, trying to provide the same service. That doesn't make any sense, okay? So years ago, and let's talk about the truth, okay? Years ago, Coach Nate went, and now I'm talking about names. And that's why they don't like me. And I was right there with him. Coach Nate went to Coach Riles at Cedar Shows. This is back in 2017, 2018. Coach Riles over Cedar Shows, Coach Colonel over Clark Central. All right. And again, I don't care if you don't like the way a man look, smell, walk, whatever the case may be. You gotta listen with not only your ears but your heart and your spirit and your soul. And if you listen to Coach Nate when he talk, he means exactly what he says. He says exactly what he means.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Those two gentlemen told us to our face, they ain't gonna work with us. We told them, hey, look, the best, and then again, giving credit where credit is due. There's another coach, CYA Raiders coach, Coach T. Hall, Coach Tanners. All right, he has also been advocating for years for unification. We see it now this year. Why? Because it failed. Northeast Georgia Youth Football League failed. All right, they failed to service the kids. They failed to do what they was trying to do. They failed to breathe on his own. All right, poor leadership going all the way back since 2012. And let's just talk about the facts. All right, and they ain't gonna like I can say, but it is what it is. Because the proof is in the outcomes, the results. It is not productive. Our community has not moved 1 inch. All right, we seeing the same circulation over and over and over again. All right, so going real quick, right?
No. You keep going. No. You keep going.
Cedar Shows, what they've been doing, not building a program.
Right.
The pipeline was there. The concept was there for years.
Right.
This what we see happening this year should have been happening for the last 10 years. But what happened? The super egos were involved. I gotta win the championship. I gotta coach the kids. There's too much of that, man. Like there's no real team build. There's no collective unity and there's no leadership. All right, we're gonna talk about Mayor Kelly Gertz. When me and Coach Dante went and met with him, sat in his office, and we said, hey, look, these are some things that can really help revitalize our community. What this gentleman do? He took what we told him, came back in our next meeting with a piece of paper with our concepts on there and saying, I'm gonna present this to the Board of Education. But guess what happened? 3D Champs, Dante Robinson Foundation, ain't nowhere on this paper. It's from the mayor's office saying that these are his unique ideas. Come on, dog, let's talk about it. Right? But again, this is why they don't like me, right?
Right.
Going back to when they were starting this new feeder program deal, right? There was a particular person.
Hold on before you get on that feeder program. Let's take a quick break. Because I want to talk about the feeder program thing. I want to get into that.
Okay.
So we're gonna take a quick break. Everybody go run to the bathroom, get a swig of water, and we will be right back.
Back up.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, take a quick break. Yes, sir. Yeah, I want to get on that too. Internet, yes, sir.
Yeah, this is a needed conversation.
Stop. Roll that thing.